Hey, I'm Laura Byrnes and this is my journey. I am 28 years old and I'm a race car driver. Do you want me to start it up? So I think the biggest achievements that I've done was a couple of club championships. So growing up in Kalgoorlie, I always wanted to be the club champion there, and I took that out in juniors. Also track champion of the Perth Motorplex where we are today, which I'm really proud to be one of the first females to pick that up for production sedans. And also I would say getting to go over to New Zealand to race, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I was lucky to be team captain of Australia. We didn't win compared to the New Zealanders there. They put up a really strong fight, but to be able to represent our country was really a proud moment of my life. Also lucky enough to be a Girls on Track champion for Motorsport Australia, which is really focused on showcasing STEM and careers in motorsport to the next generations coming through, whether or not they're already racing or whether they're sort of in that thinking about it stage of how to get involved. Because there's so much more to motorsport than just being a racer. So much happens behind the scenes. So I'm very proud to be part of that. And if I can inspire at least one other girl to consider a career in motorsport, I will die happy. That's all I want to do. So this will be my first time back on track this year. In January I was involved in a really heavy crash. I mean, I was probably going about 100 k's when I hit the wall head on. So the whole front of the car was crushed into about here, to about where I sit. You know, you get the things initially of like, am I okay? And I had some pins and needles and things like that, which is never what you want to experience. Basically the incident, you know, we're all on the track at the same time, and you know, there's only so much room on a track. I was in a good race with another competitor, and he thought he'd completely passed me. He hadn't, and as a result I ended up in the wall. No bad blood between us or anything like that. You know, these things happen. I had my night in hospital, came back clear, all the scans and tests. But the big thing, even though I was fine, which is probably the most important bit, the car wasn't, and it's taken a really long time to get it back together. You know, I like to say that I'm fearless, but reality is that fear does sit under the surface, and I want to make sure that my head's in the right place before I go back on track. And I feel like I'm there, and I feel like we're going to have a good night tonight, and I'm excited just to get that adrenaline pumping again, to look that fear in the face and say, get out of my way, I'm coming back. Now, you probably wouldn't know looking at me sitting down, but if I stand up, I'm only 150 centimetres tall, which is the size of your average 12-year-old. So I'm a proud ambassador for the Miracle Babies Foundation, which is Australia's leading foundation supporting sick and premature newborns. I was 9 weeks premature when I was born, and the only thing that gives that away is my height. But I'm really proud to be associated with this foundation because it shows the amount of fight that we had in us as prem babies. I was really lucky to survive my fight, and I bring that fight with me anytime I go on the track. So I want to represent all the other prem babies out there, whether or not you know, we made our own fight, but to showcase that it doesn't matter our height, our size, our background. If you've got a dream, you've got that fire in your belly, you deserve to follow it.
You'd have to be a bit weird if you didn't have some sort of trepidation about the whole thing. These are a monster of a car, so yeah, you've got to get out and wrestle. It's like wrestling bloody crocodiles. Yeah, see this area up the top is really muddy, so they've ripped that to try and get a bit of air into it. So the big sprint cars like that guy's got over there, so they'll run really high. I'll just tell Laura to stay away from all that. We don't want to be in that. Just let it get it to settle, sort of bit on and off the throttle, and that's where the car starts to push.
You're out here on the racing surface.
I just wanted to check that it is very icy out there. Just a very wet track, and I was struggling with the brakes. Usually if I can put the brakes on, it will let the back turn around, but that wasn't happening, and it was just going straight, and even just like feathering with the throttle to try and get it to turn, it wouldn't. So had to almost kiss the wall there. So yeah, it's not fun when it's like that, but the last couple laps were alright. So yeah, it's just hard relearning, and I want to be back to where I was, but it took me 2 years to get there. So yeah,
speed you lose is
wait, this is like a catch-22 here, so I don't know what to do unless I just stamp those brakes fully on and keep it flat. Confidence going around the corners. A little bit too much confidence in some of them. So we'll try again and we'll see what we can do. That was good.
Yes.
Are you happy, crew chief man?
Yes, that was